Alright, and we are live. Lots of stuff going on in the Magic world, especially in the Brawl world. Some potentially exciting stuff if you like more competitive, like different things like Brawl. This week they announced a queue that was all access modified metagame. Basically, this is like the various different challenge metagames. They're usually like 2K. They did change some things in terms of what you have access to. Like they banned Old Gnawbone, they banned Ragavan, they banned Johnny. I mean, that said, I've only done one of these so far because they are 5K gold, and I certainly could do another one today. But I did want to point this out that, you know, there's a lot of like high-end decks that are seeing play, and they've unbanned like certain things for the matchup, like I think Strip Mine, Chrome, basically all the stuff they banned I think is unbanned again. Mana Drain and all that, at the flip side of they're like banning different things. I will certainly do more of these and might even try recording one, but for tonight's thing, I'm probably going to work on a deck that I actually have access to. This one is from MTG Joe, not MTG Josh. It was one of his various builds of Tifa. When I first played Old Stick Fingers, I thought that deck was excessively broken. It's possible this one, and maybe I just had the high end of draws, kind of hard to say, but this one might be even more broken. Pay no attention to the Screaming Broncos fan in the room next door. She's having a lot of fun because they're currently the first place Broncos. But that said, I mean, it's Tifa. Basic landfall: when a land you control enters double Tifa Lockhart's power until end of turn, and it has trample, so that gets around one of the weaknesses of a card like this usually, and that is evasion. This one can just go over the top. I mean, that said, you do kind of get stuff a little bit like with Death Touch things and such that I've run into already, but a lot of this deck is about pump spells, land drops, and killing your opponent either as quickly as possible or in one shot. You're going to see a lot of things to that end, things like Blossoming Defense, Royal Treatment and such to protect it, Snakeskin Veil, Wild Shape. Then you're going to have things like Adventurer's Gear, Bristly Bill, basically anything that can, you know, pump it up. So, that said, let's get into some matches, kind of see how this deck does, but it is, I don't want to say a one-trick pony, but it does what it does very well, very much like Rathalos and Old Stick Fingers, which are two of the decks I've had probably among the most success with lately. I did play a slightly different variant of Rathalos in the whatchamacallit event. What does this one shape up to? Yeah, this one shapes up fine. Keep it. Play this. Go play out Mox Amber. Play out Tifa. That. Just hold it for. Okay, so it dies, deals whatever. Don't know. Can we kill them this turn? So into the north is 2 Blizzard Brawl, 3 or more snow permanents. That's access to 5 mana. It's going to be a turn 3 kill. think if I would have fetched there properly, it would have been a kill. Yeah, I goofed. I needed to fetch with whatchamacallit first. And that would have been a kill. Replay Tifa. We have a counterspell for it. Yeah, we should easily have one. It's a Bodoil. Brawl lately. Sithis? Yeah, we've played Sithis before. It's a very broken card. I've played a couple decks with it, both a actual Sithis deck and then let's go ahead and pass here. That's scary. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to be too far behind. I missed our opportunity to win the game. I should have cracked Prismatic Vista first, then we would have had Beyond Lethal the way things were set up. Yeah. Or you can even play, I mean, I know some of the other win cons for that style of strategy are like Sigil of the Empty Throne. The one that's similar to Sigil but makes Sigil of the Empty Throne but makes the spirits etc. So a lot of people think that Terminal Mana Dork, sure. Seek an Elf, or are they going to untap it? Tap this, tap that. Play Tifa. Sure, that's mildly terrified. Okay, so gotta play the Mammoth here. Don't know that I can go. We might even have lethal here, possibly. $32. Six is 26. A lot of Oblivion Ring effects. Yeah, there's a whole lot of them. You know, everything from Oblivion Ring to Journey to Nowhere to trying to think of other number of them. I think the big thing with that deck is, besides Sithis, you need to make sure you have one of your card advantage spells going early, and then stay alive long enough for your overwhelming firepower to take over. Death Touch and Ward 2, whenever a Spirit dealt damage. Okay. I think we'll be fine with this one. Turn 1 Mind Spike. Okay, I'm gonna guess. Nope, basic force. They have an accelerator. Tifa. Good chance Tifa dies here. Orchestra Claimer. Might be too much playing into a sweeper here. Like, I feel this is a kill Tifa at the end of turn nonsense kind of thing. Nope, Harrow. Yep, still gonna kill Tifa, got it. Then our Chocobo gets to Dark Rituals, so they get to play Shelb. Okay, play out that. Alright. Hoping my wife's alright. Does sound like she's having some type of episode in there, but sure. Delayed reaction between when I say something. I don't think there's a protection land in this deck, but we'll see what we got access to here. Okay, so we'll get one of the fetch lands, I think. Opponent decided to spontaneously combust. Shoots for tokens back. Ghostly Prisons. Fury couldn't attack. And Mother Runes on my Heliod. Nice. Alright, so we're up against Shrines. You know that Shrines have counter spells. I don't think particularly likely. Still get delayed halfling down. Tifa's kind of a dumb card because you like get to let's go ahead and do this the right way. Shocker. We'll play Tifa. Well, that's a good thing to do, but generally speaking, you have another removal spell? Oh, for crying out loud. Kind of hard to beat the double removal spells. Should be interesting to see what they grab. They grabbed Arcane Signet of all things. Arcane Signet into what? Let's do Castle Garenbrig. Cast our prime time. Angry Broncos fan, brought to you by Walmart. Which is funny, because the Broncos are owned by the Waltons. Curious what they grab here. For each legendary enchantment controls can't be blocked or blocked by spirit creatures. I assume there's some type of blinking artifact. Spirit Oasis. Just to draw 2. Juba Jaguars. I don't know what a Juba Jaguar is, but I hear it's quite scary. I'll get Cavern of Souls and Fetch Land. Wish there was to draw a card. Draw another card. A lot of blue. Sure. Okay. Guess they're looking for a removal spell. Hopefully they didn't find it. Shrines, they likely found something. Good grief. I really would have loved to have found a protection spell at some point during this mess. One's got all the mana. A lot of it comes down to whatever they draw. So they get to drain us, draw a card. Sure. is doubling these triggers? I think we might just die here, unfortunately. Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah, we're not surviving that. Yeah, the only thing, like, that's one thing about the Tifa decks is, like, okay, definitely keeping this one. Land go. I guess we could have played Kazandu Mammoth first. Played the tap land, then on the untap land. Yeah. Bristly Bevel. Quickly realize they're dead. Yeah, it's one of the. I think it's one of the other cards that's banned during the current iteration of competitive Brawl that they're doing on here. I think Rusko, Ajani, and Old Gnawbone, or not Old Gnawbones, Old Stick Fingers are banned. I suspect the next round of events, Tifa might end up getting banned. At least for that event. Rathalos versus Tifa, which mono green deck goes harder? They told me, bum. Bless you. Here comes an accelerant, or maybe a killing. Okay, search for creature. We'll put that card on top of that. That's an interesting card to go with first thing. Leafed Crown Visionary. We'll play Tifa out. I almost feel bad for this. Play Bristlyville. Play Tifa. I think Tifa might be the card that is the closest to an almost guaranteed turn 3 kill. Extus Auric Overlord. familiar with this one. It's a Mardu deck. Recast instant or sorcery. Return target non-legendary creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Weaken the Blood Avatar. Interesting. His hand does the thing. Okay, so we're going to play Bristly Bill here first, because it looks like my opponent has a stop, which likely means Solitude. No, it has to be Solitude, because, well, maybe Fury. I suppose it could be a Furry. You have a kill spell? Sure. Doesn't really benefit us a whole lot here. So we're actually going to play Prismatic Vista out first. Play that. And against Expert Federal token, sure. I have Death Touch. No, it's just a... Let's continue to develop our lands. Yeah, Heuristic Study is another one of those cards that's like... Ornith. Why would you float red mana and then cast Ornithopter? Okay, sure. Each opponent sacrifice a creature of their choice. Okay, well, nothing we could do to play around that, unfortunately. Cast it again. I think we're just pretty screwed here. But Yeah, it's kind of hard to beat the double removal spell, force you to edict something, have another removal spell thing on board. So. It's a 14-10 game. Got it. And get the crossroads. Yeah, we'll keep this hand. Turn 1, go. Gee, I wonder what color I'm going to choose. Green. No reason to get cute. Hey, you have a counterspell. Shocker. Fibblethip the Lost. So they very clearly have something, but I still think we gotta jam Tifa here. Shocker. Skyclave Apparition going after what? Do I even care about Nissa? Not really. They have another counterspell that can counter Tifa? Subtlety. Well, that's annoying, but it's also whatever. On top of the library. Going at the crossroads. Shepherd in the... No Allosaurus Shepherd in this deck. Oh yeah, Allosaurus Shepherd's in there. Never mind. Turn up to 2 non-land permanents. Alright. This would be 2 triggers. This would be 1 trigger plus one more from Awaken the Woods. Obviously, if they have Solitude, we get blown out. We can't afford to play around that anyway, so... One, two, three. Boom! So our opponent interacted with us 1, 2, 3, 2 times with our commander. Plus they had a bounce spell, so technically they tried to interact 3 different times. Yeah, I think Alice sort of Shepherd's in here. I think Delighted Halfling and Cavern of Souls are all in here. Lumra. I believe that's a 6-mana one, right? Alright, spontaneously combusted because they don't want to play against Tifa. Perfectly understandable. Yeah, Rothfuss was fine. When I played against the control decks and the little bit slower decks in the format, Rothfuss was pretty good. I got run down, I think, by... I want to say it was 2 Boros decks. At least one of which was a variant of... Oh, this is going to be a tricky deck to play against. We'll still keep this one. The Tajik, a variant of Tajik. There's one that is a little bit busted that so we'll play the land out first. If they have Wash Away, they have Wash Away, which it looks like they do. They might have some type of bold effect. Okay. Probably should have played and equipped that to get in a little more damage. Sure. The other thing about the competitive Brawl event, or whatever you want to call it, is you don't get the free mulligan that you get with Sesame Street. No, all joking aside, you don't get the free mulligan that you get with regular Brawl games. So let's actually go ahead and play this and equip. Play out Garen Brig. Actually, there was nothing to play around there. I should have just gone for the kill. There was nothing for Blood Red mana with a ward of 1 that they could have gotten in. So now I'm giving them unnecessary draws to potentially kill Tifa. Because of the adventure thing specifically, it's going to survive. Play that out. Play that. Trigger, trigger. Yeah, I had the game won last turn. So the thing is, you have to stop and consider how you sequence your land drops, how you sequence your protection spells, etc. So while you certainly can lose games with Tifa, it's a pretty good deck. Sabala Ice Shaper. Alright. What is cost? It's interesting. Try it. Obviously, we'd love to draw another land or two along the way here. Or something to replay lands from our graveyard. Am I gonna get roped? Nope. Looks like they're just... Alright. Layer of the Hydra. That into Yavimaya, I guess. Sure. Tifa. Play a Seiju. Play a pickaxe. No blocks. Bristly Bill. Maximize the amount of damage we can do here. To the 3. Move an ice cap. Really? That's all you got? Sure. +2, +2. Alright, spontaneous combustion there. Alright, so as far as decks, I mean, really have to put this one up there along with decks like Old Stick Fingers, just in terms of decks that we've won an absurd amount of games with relative to what's going on around it. Yeah, I mean, let me see. You did ask about Explore. No, for some reason the Elf you ask isn't in here, but I mean it does have, like, we do have Delighted Halfling, we do have Cavern of Souls. So I think a lot of the plan is to either play around counter spells a little bit or force the opponent to respond to one of our other threats. Shared Roots is an interesting one. Scythe Cap Cub is a newer one. Bristly Bill. Azusa has its own problems. Library for a basic land card. There's gains travel. Mossborn Hydra is kind of scary. Shoot Swarm's scary. And there's a lot of things I think you could do with this deck and go in different ways. I just think the combination of what we've seen. Let's see, how many lands are there? There are 44 lands plus a heck of a lot of MDFCs. So, yeah, it's really kind of hard to yell about this particular deck. So, anyways, I think, despite the fact that it hasn't been quite an hour-long stream, I'm going to go ahead and call it. I mean, there's not really a whole lot more I can say about Tifa. I mean, she won us a lot of games. I won, like, I think 11 of 15 matches or something done today. Yeah, I mean, pump spells, landfall triggers, and protection spells on a 2-drop commander. Imagine if Chrome Mox were still legal. Then you'd have something to play besides Mox Amber that you could protect your creature with, or play your creature on turn 1. Yeah, that gets quite scary. But anyways, I want to thank everybody for hanging out. My lovely wife, O'Doyle, anybody else that's catching the stream here. Merry Christmas to everyone, and we should be back for next week's stream. Hope to see you next week. See you later.